Welcome to the COMC Community Spotlight Show presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And I've got a couple of local historians with us here today as we talk about local Central Missouri history. And you guys are from south of the lake area, more in the Laclede County, Lebanon area. So we'll get a lot of the history surrounding that area, but it all ties back in with all of Central Missouri. So first of all, thank you guys for coming and joining me. Appreciate it very much.
Privileged to be here. Thank you.
Sharing your knowledge with us.
Yes.
So there's something called the Old Wyota Sinkhole. All right. I'd never heard of this before, the Wyota Sinkhole. What does that have to do with the founding of the town of Lebanon?
Well, essentially, it was the first, I will call it one of the first foundation blocks. Back in 1849 when Lebanon was founded. Lebanon was known as Wyota, first off, before the name change.
Didn't know that.
And of course, that area was a Plains Indian hunting ground.
Okay.
And there is a huge sinkhole, I mean, football-sized sinkhole off of Harwood Avenue.
It's still there?
It is still there, still very visible, houses built up all around it. And it has had probably the richest history of any artifact that would be in the area, because they used to hold powwows, Indian dances and stuff, and celebrations after the hunts down inside.
And it's still there in the town of Lebanon.
You can drive, you literally drive within about 10 feet of it off of Harwood Avenue.
Really?
Trees are kind of growing up around it, the houses. A lot of people drive by it every day and don't even realize it's there.
Isn't that amazing? That history is there, has always been there, and we didn't know it was there. What does Wyota mean? Where does that come from?
That kind of stems back from some of the different Indians. It was kind of a shared tribal hunting ground, Choctaw, Cherokee, and Wyota was one of the local Indian tribes that was there.
Okay.
And that's kind of where Lebanon branched off and got its first name, Wyota.
I wonder if that's where Wyoming got its name. Was from
that
Wyota.
I don't know.
Interesting.
That I don't know.
We'll have to go look that up. I guess I should introduce these guys. So we've got Eric Tudor here with us, local historian, and we've got Gene, also known as Noah. Apparently there's a big story behind that, Smothers. So Eric and Gene, thank you so much for joining us. So that sinkhole is still there, and I hear there are some caves associated with the sinkhole.
Very much. In the 60s and 70s, you know how all of us were as teenagers, but some teenagers got into this sinkhole. They found the cave entrance down in the bottom that the Indians used to go in, and they got themselves stuck. So they required an emergency rescue. They had to put bars up, the city did, to try to keep those pesky teenagers out.
This was in the 60s and 70s?
60s and 70s,
Okay.
yes. Now, by the 70s, it got worse. The bars didn't keep people out, so the city then had to kind of backfill just the cave portion. So then we were left with just the sinkhole.
Huh.
But Lebanon's got a lot of cave stories.
Really? You
Very
don't hear
much.
about that. That's pretty much the story of Missouri, though, right? I mean, you can go pretty much anywhere in Missouri and find caves. And I mean, around here, you've got Bridal Cave and Jacob's Cave, and I mean, caves are all...
What's interesting, Chris, is that Pulaski County caves, there's a lot in Pulaski County that have been researched, and they've been books written about him, but right next door to Laclede County, there's not that much history known. Huh. We have some friends that live in the southern part of the county. I know of 8 caves just on their farm. So there's lots of caves there, but a lot of people don't know about them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are these caves dangerous to go into? Like you could go in and never come out? Kind
Indeed.
of a thing?
Anytime when you have something underground, it could be unstable.
Yeah.
There's obviously very few maps that exist, so you don't know where you're going or what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now on that, I will say in my 20s, we were part of a spelunking club, and we went into over 100 caves in one summer, all within this region, like to the point we were just talking.
Huh. So the lake area, Camden County, Miller County, it's more Osage Indian history. Did the Osage Indians make it further south to the Lebanon area?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so
Definitely.
There was some intermixing
Again,
going on.
that tribal shared hunting ground
Right.
area.
And one of the biggest ones was this sinkhole in the Wyota Sinkhole in the Lebanon area. Other connections with the sinkhole include a cemetery.
Yes.
The very first Old Lebanon was built before the railroad came. So
Okay.
we've had 2 locations for Lebanon.
Oh, really?
To
Okay.
specify.
Where was Old Lebanon?
Old Lebanon is off of Harwood Avenue.
Okay.
And it was on one of the elevated plateaus of the region because that was a marsh area. And so that's where the original founding fathers started Lebanon. And
Yeah.
the sinkhole is just a stone throw's distance directly past.
Because that was like the kind of the gathering
Yes.
area, that
That was
sinkhole
the
there.
first, if you will, city cemetery.
Okay.
Some of the first white settlers were buried there. Shortly after the Civil War, some of the soldiers were buried there.
Okay.
Now, of course, we outgrew that. And so they had to build the new city cemetery, still in use today.
Yeah.
And of course, they did go in and they moved those graves as much as you can.
I bet they still find a few bones and stuff.
They have found human remains, digging pipelines, electrical lines and stuff still to this day.
Wow.
Now the area also had a nursery.
A nursery.
Plants, trees, and all of this that grew all around it. Early citizens wanted to make that a monument park because of that sinkhole, the depth. It was protected. It created an acoustic. What they wanted to build a sound stage in
Yeah,
for
like an
band
amphitheater or
performance.
something?
Absolutely, absolutely. Unfortunately, never took ground.
How far did it sink? How deep is it?
Oh goodness, you could.
I mean, is it like 20, 30, 50?
Have you ever been to the top of the rock?
Yes, it was just there.
Remember when the sinkhole fell in on the golf course
Yeah.
and then Johnny Morse had that all dug out?
Yeah.
We don't know how deep it could go.
Interesting.
Today, you could easily pull a 3 or 4 semi trucks with trailers down in there, and you wouldn't even see the tops of them.
Really?
So
Wow.
I'd guesstimate 20 feet, 30 foot. in
How
some
cool
places.
is this? All this history. Don't you love history? And it's all local. We'll continue to talk with these local historians about some Central Missouri history when we come back on the COMC Community Spotlight Show. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. Welcome back to the COMC Community Spotlight Show, talking local history, a lot of it south of what we now know as the Lake area, Laclede County, Lebanon. You were talking about Pulaski County earlier, which is more Rolla, I think, in that area. So there's a whole lot of history that happens in our area that a lot of people don't know about.
No, they don't.
Absolutely.
And actually, Laclede County was formed from Camden, Pulaski County, and Wright County.
Yes.
Really? So at some point they
so-
kind of had to break them up.
Yes.
Just kind of went in on the map and said, we'll take this chunk.
Interesting.
And that became
And
Laclede County.
if you look at the county now, how it's formed up on the north right-hand side of the county, it kind of looks like a dog leg up there. And that was because some of the people that lived in Camden County didn't want to give up that section. So
Of course not, right? It's like, we're not moving over there with those clowns. We don't want to be a part of that.
yes.
We were talking about the Old Wyota Sinkhole, which is still there in the middle of Camdenton, in the middle of Lebanon. And Lebanon was kind of built around that, it sounds like.
right next to it.
So much history there, including a famous hanging. Is that true? What's the story about this hanging?
Back in 1895,
Okay.
there was one of the most wanted men, you might say, in America.
Really?
His name was Wils Howard. He went by Wils.
Wils.
And he was wanted for as many as 7 murders in the Kentucky state region. So he went on the run. This was due to a big family feud. And let's just say this was a very, very bad man. Anywhere he went, he murdered, he robbed, he killed all across the United States. Went to California. As soon as he got off the stagecoach there, he murdered and shot the stagecoach driver and stole that stuff.
Wow.
California arrested him. But before he got to California, he stopped in Dixon, Missouri.
Okay.
Now, in Dixon, that would have been April 27th, 1890. He goes up to what was called Horde's, I believe is the way the family pronounced their name, Horde's boarding house. And it was kind of a boarding house for people with ailments, disabilities, maybe deaf,
Right.
blind, that kind of deal is kind of what they helped people with. He walked up, portrayed himself as an officer of the law, went in and said, "You have a Thomas McMichael staying here. I'm here to apprehend him." Now, he didn't do this until after, of course, he had a hot meal and supper and sat at the table. That's just kind of the guy he was. He gets done, he says, "I'm here to arrest him." Took him out, no questions asked. They found his body the next day with a gunshot to the head, and they had robbed him.
Wow.
Well, he knew the history of Wils and that he was on the run. He
Oh.
actually was from Kentucky. So Wils was going around cleaning up some loose ends.
Yeah.
Long story short, Missouri governor wrote the the governor of California and asked that he be returned. Once you're done with him, send him back, and we want to get him for this murder in Dixon, Missouri. There was a big scare that there was going to be a mob, an upright, just lynch mobbing. So they moved him by the cover of night to Laclede County. Then they also found out that that's where they moved him. Well, then Laclede County started getting fearful of a lynch mob. He did go on court. He was at our courthouse in Old Lebanon that we were
Right.
talking about.
Yeah.
And they quickly discovered, with all the hoopla and the newspapers and stuff, our little 3-walled jail and like 4th Street, Lebanon is not going to be big enough for the tourism, is how it was used,
Interesting.
for the public hanging.
Wow.
So they decided to take it down to the sinkhole that we were just talking
Famous
about.
sinkhole.
And they built all this lavish seating area. They had picnics. They had live bands. You know, back then,
For the hanging.
public hanging was a carnival event. It's
Interesting.
sickening.
Yeah.
But children, bring your kids, have picnics, eat a sandwich, and watch a
Watch
man's
him die.
demise.
Yeah.
But when they hung him, his neck did not snap. So the music had to come in and basically cover up the oohs and the ahs of what was said was about a 13-minute delay in his death. as
Wow.
he
So he's
twitched.
struggling there on the rope and dangling.
Over 6,000 people, according to a couple Missouri newspapers, attended that hanging
Wow.
in the sinkhole.
Probably the biggest event in Laclede County history up to that point.
At that time, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not so much anymore. You get that for a football game now. But did they do a lot of these hangings at the sinkhole or not?
Lebanon, to my knowledge, has only had 2 public hangings.
Okay.
And the other one was a much smaller scale. So that was the only hanging that I have uncovered so far.
Yeah. Folks came from all over the nation, from what I understand, to see the Wils hanging.
As far as from Kentucky, where it all started.
Okay. Wow.
And I'm sure maybe some people from California too.
Right. Made all the newspapers and everything.
Yes.
Okay, so much fascinating history. So if folks who are watching this, they want to learn more, get more information, how would they go about it? Where would they go to find your information?
We have a Facebook page called Lebanon Laclede County Historical Museum and Society.
Okay.
It is a public page, so you can go in there and look on that, and you can find more information there. And Eric also has a Facebook page too.
You can find mine. It's under actually Eric Tudor, Storyteller to the Ozarks
Okay.
Facebook page. And I share other historian stories, some that I also write myself. So you'll just find kind of a nice collage of Missouri history.
I love history. It's so much fun. Well, gentlemen, thank you. And we've got so much more to talk about. So I'll have them come back, do some more shows in the future. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the COMC Community Spotlight Show.